Hey everybody, and welcome to the Upkeep for Monday, August 31st, 2020. Just Maria here in the studio today. Megan's on vacation for the next 2 weeks, so guess what? You're stuck with me, and we have got a lot of stuff to get through. I hope I can get through all the Magic the Gathering news you need in 10 minutes or less. Hopefully it'll be 10 minutes or less. We'll find out. The first thing we're starting off is super exciting. Zendikar Rising previews just around the corner. We've already been given a peek at 2 new Planeswalkers for the set. Nahiri and Jace have already been previewed and they look super sweet. But preview season officially begins tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific time on twitch.tv/magic, where they're going to unveil a whole bunch of stuff about the new set. If you're looking for preview cards from your favorite content creators, just check out the show notes or the link below the video to find out where and when those content creators will be posting their previews all through the coming days and weeks for Zendikar Rising. Good Luck High Fives preview card is really awesome, and it's coming your way next Monday on September 7th, so keep your eyes out for that. Next up, this is the challenging thing, so stay with me. Organized play changes and updates, and I wanted to break this down in a way for you that was easy and clear to understand, because there are a lot of changes and updates that came out in a big article from Wizards of the Coast the other day, and it was a little bit of a word salad. It was pretty long read, very complicated and involved, so I'm going to do my best here to break it down in a way that is easy to understand. So the first thing you need to know about are these new things called League Weekends. Now, you might remember with previous season play, these things called splits, where the people who are in the Magic Pro League, aka the MPL, played each other for a few weeks and there was a weekend highlight show. That's out the window. What's going to replace that essentially are these League Weekends. And these are the way for the league members to earn points towards their season standings and placement in the Gauntlet playoffs. We're going to talk more about the Gauntlet playoffs coming up later. But this is the number one way for players to earn points in the MPL and in Rivals. And those points are super important because they determine whether they stay in the MPL or have to play in some gauntlets, or whether they're out of here. Members of the MPL and Rivals will play against other players within their own league in these special weekend tournaments, where each match win awards 1 point towards their league standing. League Weekends will be 2-day tournaments held about once a month and correlate to the most recent release, or split as we're going to call them, here coming up. For example, these are kicking off in October with the Zendikar Rising split. There'll be 2 League Weekends for the split. The first one's going to be on October 24th and 25th, and the second one is November 7th and 8th. And so those are the League Weekends for the Zendikar Rising split. Upcoming splits in the season are Equestrian, which is going to have 2 League Weekends of its own. That's the code name for that set, Equestrian. And Fencing, which is the code name for the set after Equestrian, which will have 3 League Weekends, making for a grand total of, I can do math, 7 League Weekends. Once again, all earning members of these leagues points that determine their standings at the end of the season. These League Weekends are going to be pretty cool because every single member of the MPL Rivals is going to be streaming these, so you'll be able to watch them on these weekends. No word on if Wizards of the Coast is going to be providing coverage as well, but at the very least we do know the players will be streaming these. There'll be round robin play for the first 4 of these League Weekends, and then 3 rounds of potted play after that. So I've mentioned the Zendikar Rising Championship a couple of times already, and just so we're clear on that, that's going to be held later this year. It's got a $250,000 prize pool and has top players from across all of the events basically from this year. So this is people who did well in the qualifier weekends, partner events, even sometimes give out invites to this. All of the MPL players, all of the rival players are going to be in this big tournament. And like I said, players here can also earn points for their MPL or Rivals season standings. So now let's talk about those postseason or end of the season tournaments that I mentioned earlier. There's 3 of them, 3 big postseason events. The MPL Gauntlet, and that is to decide who gets to stay in the MPL. The top 4 performing MPL members, by the way, based on points, get to just stay in the MPL. They're there, they're good, but everybody else got to play in that gauntlet. The Rivals Gauntlet, which is going to determine who moves up into the MPL, who stays in Rivals, and who is out. And the brand new, and this is one of the other big new things that was announced, Challenger Gauntlet, and this is to earn MPL and Rivals invites. So it's a super big deal, and it's for challengers. And Challenger, just in case you don't know, refers to anybody who's not in the MPL and not not in Rivals. So let's talk about that Challenger Gauntlet. This is for top finishing challengers, like I said, somebody not in the MPL or Rivals who compete to earn invites for the upcoming season into either the MPL or Rivals League. You get to compete in the Challenger Gauntlet if you're one of the 8 highest finishing challengers in each splits championship, or if they're the number of challengers who finish 11-4 or better, whichever number is higher, those people all get to go into the Challenger Gauntlet. So that's for each split championship, we're putting people into the Challenger Gauntlet. The top 4 in the Challenger Gauntlet get an invite to the World Championship, which is an enormous deal, and the MPL for the next season. So this is a rocket ship right to the top of competitive play in Magic the Gathering, and might be the most exciting and biggest tournament kind of the year other than the World Championship. The 5th through 12th finishing players get an invitation to the Rivals League, and everybody else gets an invite to a future high-level event, so not too bad. Speaking of Worlds, let's talk about Worlds for the 2020-2021 season. It's going to be 16 players, tentatively right now scheduled for the summer of 2021 to be held in person. Of course, that could change based on the state of the world. Who will be playing? It'll be the 2019 Magic the Gathering World Champion, that's Paulo Vitor Damaderosa, the top 4 MPL players from season standings, the top 4 Rivals League players from those season standings, plus the winner and finalists from the MPL Gauntlet, like we just said, the winner of the Rivals Gauntlet, and the top 4 challengers from the Challenger Gauntlet. So that's set up to be a really amazing tournament. So what exactly are the leagues going to look like next year? Let's find out who exactly is going to compromise the MPL and the Rivals Leagues. The MPL is 24 players, and it's going to be the top 4 MPL players from final standings for the 2020-2021 season, which is a really, really small number. So the amount of retention could be very, very tiny from one MPL season to the next. Only guaranteed the top 4 MPL will stay. Everybody else, technically, probably not going to happen, but everybody else could potentially be out. The top 4 Rivals League players from final standings, the top 8 from the MPL Gauntlet, the top 4 from the Rivals Gauntlet, and the top 4 from the Challenger Gauntlet, and that will comprise the MPL. So who will be in Rivals? It'll be the bottom 8 players from the MPL, the Rivals League players who are ranked 33rd through 36, the remaining 16 players at the end of the MPL Gauntlet, and the remaining 20 players at the end of the Rivals Gauntlet, for a total of 48 players in the Rivals League. Now, say you're somebody with hopes of either being in the MPL or in Rivals, here is a quick cheat sheet to let you know how to do it. So it is a very long and difficult path, but it is achievable. This is what you need to do. From 0 to hero, here we go. You need to get in the top 1,200 in the monthly ladder to be able to play in a qualifier weekend. Get 7 wins on both days of the qualifier weekend, and you qualify for the Players Tour. Finish 11-4 or better at the Players Tour, and then you get into the Challenger Gauntlet. Make top 12 in the Challenger Gauntlet, and you've got MPL or Rivals. Okay, almost done with the updates to organized play. The next one kind of falls under that banner a little bit. A brand new Hall of Fame is coming our way. Now, this has been something people have been talking about for a long time, because currently, or at least the old Hall of Fame, only awarded achievements for players. And so people have been like, well, what about people like Richard Garfield? He's technically not in the Magic the Gathering Hall of Fame. That seems a little weird. So Wizards is rethinking that. They are taking this year off from inductions to prepare for a new Hall of Fame. They say it will, quote, encompass not just competitive play, but all of Magic, including its innovators, contributors, and longtime stewards. So my question to you is, who would you vote for? A new kind of draft is available on Magic Online. It's called Supreme Draft. It's really, really wild, and I think seems kind of cool and super, super high level, high powered stuff. What you're going to do is it's all first picks, basically. You open a pack, you pick 2 cards, and then that pack is done forever. You throw it away, quote unquote. You take 2 first picks, pass it. Well, you don't pass it to anybody. It's out of here. And you repeat that until you draft 36 cards from 18 packs, and then you play in a draft league like normal. So it's really bizarre. You've got nothing but first and second picks from packs. You could just pick all rares and mythics if you wanted to, but I don't think your deck would be very good. There's not going to be any queues, because basically you're just drafting solo here, and then you play against other people in draft leagues just like you normally would. The debut of this format, they gave it a bizarre name, Ravnixtravaganza, because it featured 8 sets from Ravnica, 2 to 3 packs from each set, and that occurred August 26th through September 2nd, so still going on for a couple of days here. Next up, they're going to do Modern Horizons September 2nd through 9th, with a Chaos Draft coming in the future. It sounds like a really cool format, super interested to see what it's like, and of course, playing this in person is another way you can do it. If you've got one other person and you want to draft, but you don't want to Winston draft, this is a cool way to draft too. Crack open some packs and not a lot of downtime during draft. And last up today, the Venus and Mercury League signups are now live. This is a special league for women and non-binary players only. The signups are August 29th through September 5th. Matches begin on September 7th. It's a $25 entry. All entry fees go towards the prize pool 64-player cap. This is really cool because it's a league with weekly standard matches. You can play it on your own schedule by a deadline. There's a cut to a top 8 with some wild cards after all the round robins, and then they have their playoffs. And I know they're going to offer coverage of this stuff too, so this is a really cool and unique opportunity if you've been looking for some higher level play and you identify as a woman or non-binary. So really cool, and check it out. Well, that's all the Magic news you need today. Thank you everybody for joining me. Check out our full-length podcast, Good Luck High Five, anywhere fine podcasts are found, or support the Upkeep and Good Luck High Five over on patreon.com/GLHFmagic. You can now support in your local currency, USD, euros, and British pounds, and you can do an entire year at a discount right now, 2 months free if you pay up front for the entire year. That discount will go away soon, so get it while it's still hot. Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
Good luck, high